Guys, how you doing? Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, YouTube. I know you don't need no lube. Well, me have something for you guys to listen. We have a debate. Let me for some people that want you guys to hear. So get your coffee, and we're gonna sit down on one or turn on the boom box or put your headset in your ears and go and listen to that one because that one gonna be a thing. No people. You know, sometimes I come back and I say to you guys that these guys know the crime that is committed against the people. Them come out sometime and you hear them say it. And me, I wonder why they don't lock up each other for the poor people. And then we also have a debate for you guys to hear. You guys don't want to miss this. Me sure some people don't want me to play the debate today. I swear. But anyway, we're going to play it. We could start the arms house. People, they say, why go on to Jamaica? Yeah? I know nothing normal. Remember that. And it's wonderful, people. It's a wonderful day. But sometimes I have to take it down memory lane so you guys can understand what's going on. Because you have some people when I watch certain things, you know, and they forget quick. We as young people, man, we forget so quick, man. Real quick and fast. We forget, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We forget real quick. Yeah, man. But me have something for you guys to listen to today. Yeah, man. Me not play that. Because you know what, it's a rough day today, now, people, so the day tough. And a soft day today. Who's gonna play that song?
I like it when it rains.
Calm down the mood before me going on me. Yes.
Oh yes, oh yes. Girl, I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. I like it when it thunders. I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. It makes me feel much younger. Girl, it's raining in my bed. It's raining, na 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 na. It's raining in my bed. Yeah, it's raining. Girl, it's raining in my bed. It's raining, na 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 na. Girl, it's raining in my bed.
Calm down the evening, man.
Ooh, and if my sheet get wet, it doesn't matter. My mattress weight, it doesn't matter. Girl, as long as I'm with you, you and only you will do. If my pillow get wet, it doesn't matter. My blanket wet, it doesn't matter. Girl, I'm so in love with
Yours truly, Jamaican Carlos.
yeah, yeah,
Like it when it rains.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you have a rough day to the people at work, calm me and calm down the vibes, you know.
Like it when it rains, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yes, oh
yes. Not true.
Girl, I like it when it rains.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah. I like it when it thunders. I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. It makes me feel much younger. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Na 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 na. It's raining in my bed. Yeah. Girl, it's raining in my bed. It's raining. Na 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 na. Girl, it's raining in my bed. It's raining. Ooh, and if my sheet get wet, it doesn't matter. My mattress weight, it doesn't matter. Girl, as long as I'm with you, you and only you will do. pillow get wet, it doesn't matter. My blanket wet, it doesn't matter. Girl, I'm so in love with you. So whenever we meet, girl, I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. I like it when it thunders. I like it when it rains.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. It makes me feel much younger. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Da, 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 da. It's raining in my bed. Yeah. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Da, 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 da. It's raining in my bed. Yeah. Ooh. Girl, the rain is falling and I need you now. And my body's calling and I need you now. Please don't let this moment pass. I don't know how long this rain gonna last. Baby, hold me, squeeze me, touch me, tease me. Still know what to do just to please me. Girl, I love you. Girl, I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. I like it when it thunders.
But as I respect, may I get into the vibes here today. And you know what? Me go jump in the shower. And I'm just come out of it, But anyway, people, me have something for me on hear right now because you see, sometimes I come from my page, I show you something. You better me bring it coming and make listen it and hear it for yourself before. What me I come to say now, people that song are my song, Jamaican Callers, the name I like it when it rain. Me a DJ, me a singer, I just love music, Yeah, me play music. I love music. Yeah, I love music. Yeah, man. But anyway, many times we come on this platform right here. And we tell you guys that these guys know about harm that has been done against the Jamaican people. Crime committed against us. Then we wonder why when they come in, each other come in, they don't really investigate. People, look here. Just look. I have PNP and Labour on my page, and I have people who don't give a damn about politics. I love all of you all. Right? They don't care either way. I'm independent. So, me say this all the time. Cause that's, so that I want to fight. I want to figure this out. I want to figure this out. My brain chipping on. Yes, man. When me figure this out, I say, oh, see there. Come and say, each one have a whole trillion load of corruption on each other. Only in the election time you hear about them. Campaign. You see them go up on the campaign trail. You'll hear the labor rights say, a lot of corruption in the PNP. You hear the PNP talk about a lot of corruption in the labor right. And them don't call it corruption, Them call it scandal. But it's not really scandal, it's crime. Corruption, scandal, it's crime. It's crime against the Jamaican people. Crime against the Jamaican people. So in an election, them say, scandal. It's not scandal, people. That's a beautiful name. It's really crime. In the billions. So them kind of sweeten it up and say, it's scandal. It's not scandal, people. It's crime that they know of, but they do not act. Are they derelict in their duty? Have all this power and they never act. I want you to listen right now, or they take the whole out for idiot. They're going to tell you about some crime. Listen to both crimes now. They know about crime about each other. I'm going to show you right now. They know about the crime, man. Both parties know about the crime. I joke. Why we fool. Why like we ban back a cow, yeah. We don't like the Jamaican people fool, I say. But anyway, we gotta get wise, We gotta get wiser, man. Check this out. You see this? It's like a gleaner, It's like a gleaner.
Find the evidence that what we have today in Jamaica.
People, 5 years ago, this is Peter Phillips and Mr. Onis. Yeah, I don't know. They know about crime, man. That 5 years ago, this man. Listen this. Listen this.
We find the evidence that what we have today in Jamaica is the most corrupt administration that has ever held office in the history of our country since independence.
What is this man talking about? Well, make me make the statement, backed up by facts, that the PNP is the most corrupt political organization in the Caribbean.
Pushing scandal.
If you go back to 1989, which is a long time ago, you would hear about the Rollins land deal scandal.
Police use car scandal.
If you go back to 1990, you remember the zinc scandal after Hurricane Gilbert.
FLA scandal.
You have the furniture scandal. Then you have the Shell Weber scandal.
Crime, you know.
$8 million phone bill scandal.
Then you have a big scandal in 1992 over the illegal importation of motor vehicles. Then in 1993, we hear some man buy US dollar out of the back of them car all over. Big scandal.
$9 million travel scandal at D3BAT3. The government have more scandal in it than Riverton City have scandal back.
You hear about the corrupt distribution of land in Holland. You hear about the Operation Pride scandal.
Hold on, man. Who got jail behind all of this? Who got jail? People and a scandal. A corruption. It's crime. Both sides know about the crime or each other commit against us. People, them are not small money, you know. All of them crime when they commit against us. If you add them up, people, and the trillions. Who got jail behind all of this? They say them take it for a big boogo. We could go and listen to them people, yeah.
Then in 1997, you have the FinSac scandal.
And then we have the super scandal, the Petrocan scandal, that one have everything in it.
Crime.
And then now you have the mother of all scandal, the traffic guru scandal.
Crime.
You remember that?
Friends of the government collecting money for travel, but not traveling.
Crime.
The Montego Bay street people scandal.
Crime.
The fat cat salary scandal.
Crime.
You remember Net Serve?
Yeah.
Yes.
Friends of the government getting jobs at 3 times the pay that the previous occupants of the job had. While at the same time, long-serving, loyal, patriotic civil servants being fired from jobs.
Then you have the Sandals White House scandal. Then now after that, you come up with the Cuban light bulb scandal. You remember that? You have the Hanover Parish Council scandal.
Friends of the government and activists for the JLP
You're crying.
getting jobs in organizations for which they don't have qualifications.
Crime.
Then you have the Chick V scandal. Then you have the dead baby scandal. Then you have the bad gas scandal. Then you have now the parish council in a Manchester scandal.
Friends being awarded contracts by breaking the procurement rules, and some of those friends are the same people that turn up in the bushing scandal.
You remember Outer Many scandal? You remember EWI energy scandal?
Who got jail?
Never in our history have we heard of a government entering into verbal contracts. No paper, no sign. Just word of mouth. $23 million. What madness is this going on in our country, Africa?
You can't cuss me when you corrupt.
Thank God for the opposite.
How many of you are going there? The whole of you corrupt. You can't cost me when you're corrupt. How many of you are going there? Who got the prison behind all of these tax people? taxpayers, PNP and Labour Right. They're up on my page. Each one know about crime committed against the people on both sides. What have they done about it? What have they done in a hurt on the PNP? If you know about the corruption from the Labour Right and the PNP coming in for 18 years and never prosecute one of them. Labour Right in a hurt to know. If you know so to know about all this corruption by the PNP and the Labour Right in the control everything right now and not one prosecution and none of them. Who get hurt in all of this? All of this here I go on here. When I listen to right now, who get hurt? And the Gleaner this, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it's still not the Gleaner. 5 years ago. Everything is out there if you know what you're looking for. Still. Who went to prison for it, people? People, them are major crime. They might talk about scandal. It's not a scandal, man. These are crime committed against taxpayers of the country. But each side know about how the country is going to heal like this, people. Look at it. Me tell you no verbally, but never go find the tape and play for you. So I understand, say, I don't like Carlos I tell. Say each side of a whole trailer load of scandal of each other. But when them come in, Labour Right and PNP, they don't work on your behalf, PNP and Labour Right. If they respect the Labour Right, then go for them money. Anyway, there. If they respect the PNP, the taxpayers in general, because from your win, you're not Prime Minister for just the Labour Right. You're Prime Minister for everybody. So if they love taxpayers, then go for the money anyway there. Go confiscate it and lock up who we get locked up. Give back taxpayers their money. Put it back in the coffers. So we grand picnic them. Here, man.
That turned up in the bushing scandal.
You remember outer many scandal? You remember EWI energy scandal?
Never in our history have we heard of a government entering into verbal contracts. No paper, no sign.
Trillions of dollars. Trillions.
Just word of mouth. $23 million. What madness is this going on in our country after that?
You can't cuss me when you corrupt.
Thank God for the opposition in Parliament. Thank God for the PAAC and the PNP members and the PAAC.
We already know that in bad mind, him not likes the people prosper.
Bad man, yeah.
And now we know that him is nothing but a hypocrite. There will always be in every government, regardless of jurisdiction, people who breach the rule, people who use their power unjustly, unfairly, and unduly. The mark of the good government is that when it is done, there is no cover-up. When we face our challenges, there is no one who could criticize this government to say that we were covering up corruption. No, the Jamaica Labour Party stands firmly against corruption, and we will put in place and have been putting in place the measures to address it.
I tell you, brother, people, stick around. Because I know you're not there yet. Now, we want people. Yes, so one more officer right there. That make my case where the show to say each other have a whole trailer load of corruption, crime against the people. What them dress up and I call scandal. Them a type of crime here are in the trillions of dollars. People don't hear them and them. People, how long people? I work a minute, 7 minutes, I go back and forth and I trade at them and make we know the crime, you know. We never know there's so much crime. So them know the crime committed against the people. People, them are trillions of dollars. We country can't get better than that. Two of them. But when come election time, come them take off a big idiot. Just like me tell us, the one of them are friend. When election time come, just like a prosecutor and a defense lawyer, them come out there. Come show them color. Them are friend people. And because I hear some go on, so Philip said, Andrew Owen's a friend. Come here. Andrew Owen's power interview. I said, boy, when Philip said, come talk about him house need investigation, how Andrew Owen's get him house. Andrew Owen said, boy, my Peter Phillips a good friend. I never expect that from him and Reverend Black people. These interviews are out there. You just have to know what you're looking for and everything out there. When Peter Phillips goes down against Andrew Owner's house, kind of a question Andrew Owner's, how you get your house? You need to be, you know, how you get this a house here? You're just, or you're rich, sir. Andrew Owner's are saying bad mind and that. Say him and Peter Phillips are a good friend and he never knows, say, you never expect that from him. So while you hear them go on some people, that's why they don't send each other to jail. And I try to make this case on this platform so many times. Who went to prison for this? Who even get caught up in a court for this? Jesus Christ, you them do people, man. No, sir. But people, please stick close by because you don't want to miss this part. Because this is a debate between Peter Phillips and Andrew Owens. And it's when Andrew Owens are 4.5 years in and he want to get another win. He lied till a sin. Well, anyway, we want to listen to this. Want to listen to this. That's what I'm saying. Go get to the coffee, turn on the boom box, go and clean and don't look at work. Because that one here, for Uno. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We love it, man.
This evening, we're pleased to welcome viewers from 18 stations around the Caribbean, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. We also have people watching via...
Let me give credit to CVM for this. I understand me. Credit go to CVM TV in the people 3 years ago, right? And you're 4.5 years in.
This evening's debate focuses on leadership. And now, joining us on the debate stage, the president of the People's National Party, PNP, Dr. Peter Phillips.
Listen, go get to the coffee.
And the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, Mr. Andrew Holness.
They don't want to hear them. Some people don't want to hear this here.
Members of the panel of questioners are from the RGR Gleaner Communications Group, Dion Jackson Miller.
Big up Real Swat.
And from Sportsmax Scene TV, President of the Press Association of Jamaica, George Davis.
Cynthia B, Manley Heights, big up yourself.
Taking and presenting questions from the public is our social media editor, Marjorie Gordon of Nationwide News Network.
Look at listen, people. All in faster, big up.
And I'm your moderator, Dervan Malcolm. The guidelines for tonight's debate have been previously agreed and are posted on the Debate Commission's website at jamaicadebatescommission.org. The guidelines include questions being no longer than 30 seconds, each debater having a maximum of 90 seconds to answer the question, each debater being allowed a maximum of 45 seconds to rebut the answer given by the other debater.
Rules.
The moderator having the latitude to raise follow-up questions for clarification only. Questioners being allowed a follow-up question to their primary question and on only two occasions during the entire debate will they have to ask those follow-up questions. Now, follow-up questions will be permitted at the discretion of the moderator. Where a follow-up question is asked, the debater shall have 30 seconds to provide the answer. Where a follow-up question is asked, it shall not interrupt the sequence of questions posed to the respective debaters. The questions posed in tonight's debate are created solely by the panel of journalists and are not influenced by the Jamaica Debates Commission in any way.
Get a go pee-pee. Well, I go pee-pee and come back, man. Go on. Me feel. Well, I go pee-pee and come back. Me know me. Well, I go pee-pee. Well, I go pee-pee and come back. Me say, me know you want to go pee-pee, you know. Go and go pee-pee and come. Go and go pee-pee and come back. Oh, you turn up the boom box loud enough. All right, then. Let me continue. All right.
Based on a coin toss, Dr. Peter Phillips of the PNP will deliver his opening statement first, while at the end of the debate, Mr. Andrew Holness of the JLP will present his closing statement last. And now, the 2-minute opening statement from Dr. Peter Phillips of the PNP.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Jamaicans here at home and overseas. On September 3rd, the Jamaican people have an important choice to make. We can either continue with economic stagnation or we can and approach with major crime and murder statistics, with a deepening digital divide, or we can choose a different future. We can choose a future of opportunity, of better education for all our people, a future of relief from the COVID pressures, and we can proceed in a way that offers opportunity to all our people. If we are to choose that future, we need to do it together. And when we act together, we can build a very different set of opportunities for our people. So on September 3rd, I'm urging you all to vote for the People's National Party.
This guy's been sleeping in our parking lot for the last.
People, that was Dr. Peter Phillips. And we're going to move on to the Prime Minister Andrew Onisman. Look for a second term, you know. So he's more sweet and he might tell you everything when him do and when him go do and bloop, bloop, blop. Me know them don't want to hear this, you know, because them things say, Lord God, because us go pull up this today. Me say, you see that man there, sir? He just pull up, sure.
National Party.
Listen.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. And now, the 2-minute opening statement from Mr. Andrew Holness of the JLP.
Thank you, Dervon. Good evening, Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora. Before I begin, allow me to say happy birthday to my mom. Love you, Mom. Stay safe.
Listen, Andrew Holness strategy. More sweet, mom, the little old man. Look at my plan. Just listen to Andrew Holness' mouth to the back of. Listen for him 2 minutes. Or different from Peter Phillips. Look at you, that I say. More sweet. Look at you.
It is a distinct pleasure for me to serve as your Prime Minister. I have never taken for granted the trust and the confidence you have invested in me. I will never forget Mas Tom, an elderly gentleman leaving the polling station on election day and waving his ink-stained hands at me.
Storyteller.
Saying, Andrew,
hold on. Me have to cut this head up. Because I tell you, brother, Hollywood, if you go in, me say, if that brother go Hollywood, and be a star. Denzel Washington. Now I'm not part of me, no. Me no mean to cut it still, but. All right, let me talk about the ink-stained man, the old man, Mas Tom, or Mas Tom. So, me no have to, hold on, me no have to get above myself, one to the ear, you know, but I just want to show you the craftiness of your Prime Minister. That I'm say if Mark Golden not here, this man around, if Mark Golden know him, I'm going to take it from him. Stay there. It's there.
And in the diaspora. Before I begin, allow me to say happy birthday to my mom. Love you, Mom. Stay safe. It is a distinct pleasure for me to serve as your Prime Minister. I have never taken for granted the trust and the confidence you have invested in me. I will never forget Mas Tom, an elderly gentleman leaving the polling station on election day and waving his ink-stained hands at me, saying, Andrew, do the right thing. Today, I am very proud to report to this country that we have been doing the right thing by Jamaica. We have been building roads and bridges like no other government has. We have been increasing access to water. In our 4.5 years, 22,000 Jamaicans have had the chance not to rent, but to own their own homes. We have created over 100,000 jobs. Poverty is at its lowest in 10 years. We have increased the school feeding program from 3 days to 5 days. We have made massive investments in security.
Me now make it tell a line of people. Remember I said me do video panic, you know, where the school feeding program run out of money and the youths were coming to school and did not have. Remember we give him another 4 years, you know. And when they voting back in Cadiz, he was looking for another vote. He was looking for to come back in a power. So remember me I tell you, I said, the school feeding program run out of money. And one lady named Miss McLean was over the school feeding program. The school will feed poor people under fair management. $124 million is still missing. And now I don't know about if she got court, if them a prosecutor, if them a charger. She there home just like Roy Reid, probably getting paid still. The other day, Missy, she come out and say she got sue the government or something like that. $124 million out of Nutri-Product school feeding program where you hear the Prime Minister is talking about. Yes, the school did run out of school money feeding program while they take 300% raise. People may not make them tell a lie. I'm going to stop him and check him per time. I know the issue.
Security forces and increase their presence in your community. But the greatest achievement, I believe, is that in 3 of our 5 budgets, we have either had no new taxes, or we have given back taxes that Dr. Peter Papa Tax Phillips had placed on you.
Hold on. Remember, I think it's the last fiscal year, the government scrape off at extra $80 billion. That's 80 with a B, $1 billion in extra tax revenue. So basically, the amount of money that we expect them are going to make, if they were going to make $100 billion, then get an extra $80 billion out of nowhere from the people. So therefore, it got to be police out there over charge the ticket the people, them, the government overtax the people. Them. How come the government scrape $80 billion in a tax revenue from the Jamaican people? So me now make him tell on the line of people, because me know the issues and me know the truth. The last 4 years when they give him another chance, me tell you exactly what happened. Me not tell a lot of people. Come into videos on these in my head right there, so me not reading a book.
On our 5 budgets, when you take them cumulatively, we have net given back taxes. That has never happened in the history of Jamaica. We have been good stewards of your affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. Our first question tonight comes from Dion Jackson Miller from the RGR Gleaner Communications Group, and it will be directed to Dr. Phillips.
Do not, I repeat,
do not. A Papa tax. Somebody said, create a university, and you a Papa tax, call this homeless. I don't lie. I don't lie, people. I ain't tax all the people. Them. You never say, $80 billion. I don't lie, me I tell the people. You can go check it, you know. In an extra tax revenue, you know. So if the government did estimate, say them make $100 billion to pay the tax around the country, they were frightened when they make this extra $80 billion for poor people. Where they get that from? Man, I don't know why I want to Jamaica somehow.
Dr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, in a statement on July 23rd, you spoke of states of emergency as involving, quote, prolonged wholesale infringement of the rights of Jamaicans, end quote. Now, you did vote to end an SOE back in December 2018, but every other time you voted with the government to extend them. How does Jamaica trust you with leadership when your own voting record on a matter of fundamental rights accords with the popular choice rather than the principle that you yourself say you espouse?
There are 2 principles that were at stake. One is the obvious need to have a response to the problem of mounting crime. The government refused to provide any other alternative. We continue to make our case to them while at the same time advocating a different approach to the whole question of crime control and murder control. And so we believe that there is a way other than a way relying on the states of emergency to deal with hotspot policing, intelligence-led policing, and one which recognizes the rights of citizens. It's a difficult choice, but we ended up making the right one.
People, the PNP is implicated in the abuse of the nation by using state of emergency also. So I'm going to tell you the truth, you know, people. Yes, because the state of emergency should not be used like that. So therefore, Andrew Onis con the PNP and have them help them sign this thing. So we have the state of emergency on the road. Them also far short, you know that too. Me not lie on the people. The PNP help the labor right abuse the citizens by overusing the state of emergency. State of emergency should not use by that, like that. It's just, is after they like, me no want to them, they realize they break the law. And you realize that it went to court, and the court found the government was abusing the state of emergency. Right now, find the government wrong, violating Jamaican human rights. That's human rights violation. So you have a lot of Jamaicans right now about to get millions of dollars from the government. The government tried to appeal it, but they never have no standing in the appeal court. It threw it out. So now the government have to go pay back enough Jamaican dollar, millions of dollars. Did you guys know these things? But anyway, they have to learn some lessons. So I'm going to teach you now. Keep it going.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Mr. Holness, your rebuttal.
Look, let's just face the facts. The truth is that the people called for the states of public emergency. I remember very well the first time that the PNP voted to end the states of public emergency in St. James. It was grief and panic. The truth is that they very well know that the SOEs have been very effective in controlling the murder and crime pandemic. It has flattened the murder curve in Jamaica.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. And now George Davis will pose a question to Mr. Andrew Holness.
Did it flatten the murder curve in Jamaica? Did state of emergency flatten the murder curve in Jamaica? Remember, that's the man's first term. He's looking to be voted back in, which you guys gave him another term and give him more seats and all these things. Say, go on, boss, go on, go handle business. Did it flatten the murder curve? Remember, I can't blame nobody in them. I blame PNP and this and that. Cannot blame the PNP when they have the house to send. You have everything right now to make any new laws and policy to change anything and wash out and flush out, and the PNP will bring come up in there. Don't it, people? Don't the Prime Minister have the power right now? Don't talk about the PNP, because that's what they've been using. You have everything now, so you can change policy and do it your way on behalf of the people. You have the people them to vote on it. The PNP can have nothing to go against your vote. If the Labour right pull up something and say, boy, we're going to vote on this, the PNP no stand no chance because it's more Labour right than PNP. So why is the Labour right still talking about the PNP after so many years in office? They have a chance now to change laws and policy and do all type of things, people, and do it their way, like they know best, to make the country go better. So the country will go better, all right, I go. Argument done. We could continue.
Mr. Holness, in the Education Ministry's 2019 high school rankings, the percentage of schools with students passing at least 5 CSEC subjects ranged from 100% at Campion to 0.8% for the lowest ranked school. Of the 161 schools listed, 91 had less than 20% passes. And while the top 10 averaged over 90% passes, the bottom 10 averaged under 2% passes. How then do you propose to create a more equitable education system?
Listen.
Thanks for that question, George. The first thing that we need to ensure is that all children going into primary school get into primary school at the same level. So you have to level the playing field starting at the early childhood level. And so we know what to do in terms of the investment in education, and that is well underway. The second thing that you...
Hold on before we go to the second thing. The investment in education him talk about. You hear him talk about a while ago? Promise Learning Center, a school for kids with disability, a school for kids with special need. The government just defunded it. Parents with disabled kids with special need show up at school one Monday morning, not January, when the teacher school are reopened back for January. Staff didn't know that the school are gonna lock. Government defunded this school after them take 300% raise. Then they not communicate that to the school administrators. And we understand that, people. Government defunded that the school could not pay utilities, maintenance, couldn't pay the staff. These teachers went without money during Christmas. They defunded the school. They defunded the school for special needs kids. What country do that? We could continue to listen to this, brother.
Do is ensure that students at the primary level develop the critical skills of literacy, numeracy, and in today's world, digital numeracy, so that they are able to access the curriculum at the secondary level, which is why my government emphasized literacy and numeracy at the grade 4 level. We made it a national priority. We moved the literacy rate at grade 4 from 50%, which we took it, to in the region of between 85 and 90%. Since then, things have floundered, but the government of the Jamaica Labour Party is now putting in place a commission to review our entire education system to ensure that our children get equal access to good education at all levels of the education system, to enable them to not just regurgitate, but to enable them to think critically and be creative and productive citizens.
People, right now you realize that they pick them at the dunces right now in the Caribbean. Yeah, man, like the report come out now, like we use them dunce out people. I don't know I'm 3 generation. Yes, people, me not lie. I wouldn't lie to you people, them dunce. But dunce is set of people right now in the Caribbean, youth them. I can't believe, say, education gone at the people. Remember the brother talk, I'm a talk, he say, I'm doing now, I'm a doing now. And teacher run away after we don't give him a second. It's when you give him the second term, at them time the education get worse. Everybody get dunce and teacher that run away. Make we listen what the brother them say, man.
Mr. Phillips, your rebuttal.
What is clear is that after 4.5 years, the government has still failed to do the simplest thing, which is to utilize up-to-date modern technologies in the school system. The tablets in schools have not been delivered. There is still too many schools who do not have access to internet services. Overall, the government has failed to meet the challenge to deliver better educational opportunity in the schools. And I think they must be held to account for that. Now, after 4.5 years, they are beginning to look at a commission to deal with education. Not good enough.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Marjorie Gordon of Nation.
Hold on there. Did they ever have a commission to look at education anywhere? Is there a commission to look at education in Jamaica right now, according to what the Prime Minister promised? Anywhere? Anybody know anything? Is there a commission to look at education? Because I know say you didn't get done. That's what the Prime Minister promised the last time when he was giving him a chance to come again, the last 4 years. Remember him asking, first 4 years, after him asking another 4 years. Well, was there any commission? Somebody said none whatsoever, Jaja.
News Network has been working the social media beat, and she has a question right now.
Thanks, Dervan. Now, on social media, Omar Yard wants to know, if you become the next Prime Minister, will you have fixed election dates and term limits?
And that question is to you, Dr. Phillips.
No, for Andrew, that.
The country needs to explore this question of fixed election dates. We are prepared to move down that track and develop the legislation. I would point out that this was a commitment that the current government gave before this current term. Nothing has been done in that regard, as they have failed to act also on the question of impeachment or the provision of job descriptions for ministers. The failure to provide job descriptions for ministers has resulted in the worst wave of corrupt behavior and thieving government that this country has seen in its entire post-independence history.
Mr. Holness?
People, job description. Remember, say after them take the 300% raise, you know, they say them do this job description stuff. Them finish that yet? Do they finish this job description stuff that them say them are gonna do? Politicians they have job description. Remember, say after them teeth the 300% raise, you know, them promise we all of a sudden we're gonna do this job description. People, is that anyway? May I ask you guys, you don't know of that yet? Job description for politicians. Remember, they after them take the 300% raise, them said that them are gonna do. Peter Phillips that talk about that biggest thief. We can't tell this what Andrew is going to say.
You have an opportunity to respond to that question as well.
Fixed election dates remain an aspiration of this government. So too are our commitments regarding the development and the execution of a grand referendum. As it relates to issues such as job descriptions. You know, not many persons would know this, but our cabinet at each retreat requires each minister to develop a work plan, which I personally review, monitor, and evaluate. And in addition to that, you may not know, but we have put in place a training system where our ministers participate in training in public affairs management and training in good governance. So we have done far more than a job description on a piece of paper. We have put that into action, and you have seen the results. I stand here on a platform of performance, of delivery. He has been saying all kinds of things about the government, but he cannot say that this government has not delivered, even on things which they started and did not complete.
People, remember, I know when I get their first 100 day promise, you know. The question here they asked there, that was supposed to go to Andrew Otis because he's the one who promised all of that, fixed date and term limit. So, but anyway, they could go in both ways anyway. But it was Andrew Otis who promised that. It was his first 100-day promise, term limit for prime minister, impeachment process for crooked politician, and set date for election. How many times did Andrew Otis kick back the election? It looked like he want to kick back the election again. How many times did Andrew Otis violate the Constitution? Make we continue listen.
Thank you, gentlemen. And we now take our first break in this national leadership debate. Please stay with us.
People, may I tell you, say, this is like, you have to listen to these things sometime, you know. Can I believe say we don't pay attention when you listen to these things? People have to educate yourself. The last election, I worked for promise to go on, you know. And the first 100-day promise never come true, and the man stand up before the camera and the mic and I tell the people them said this, that, and the other, and they not have the first 100-day promise for sure. People them give him a chance anyway and say, go on, boss. Give him 4 more years. And I know they don't see the first 100-day promise. More corruption than ever. We hear Peter Phillips talk about there. They know about each other corruption, but this time, we're out here. We are independent journalists. We out here pay attention to all of that things. So things we used to get away with, first time they now get away with this time, people. You understand me? So therefore, we have to educate ourselves. And anybody on this platform, we're not going to learn over here. This is not the normal platform. Big up all the new people with on my page. Me soon. Welcome over here. All the new people. Not telling an aunt, no cousin, no brother, no sister, no niece. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Manners and respect to each and everyone. The people that are strolling. Me soon. Me see the new names and me see the new commenter and the new names. We welcome you all, people, on this here platform. So we have to keep moving in a positive direction for the yard called Jamaica. I'm going to see PNP, I'm going to see Liberate on my platform. And I would urge you guys to go vote. Come on, I say no go vote. But when you go do that, people, don't be diatic, don't be stupid. If a man not good, him not good, kick him out. Do it for your country. Don't do it because your granny used to say so, and your grandfather blood used to run a certain color. Don't do that no more, man. That's an illiterate way of thinking moving forward, man. When man deliberately hurt your country and they sit down to just take it like nothing and go answer. It not gonna work, man. So, you know, I just want to tell you about this what's going on right here. So a long time we not pay attention and see what go on. So we'll get right in the back in the thing, right? Right in the debate, people.
Begin this segment with Dion Jackson Miller of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group directing her question to Mr. Andrew Holness of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Mr. Holness, on August 9, the Ministry of Health announced another COVID death and 20 new cases. August 10, 8 new cases. August 11, 16 new cases. That's the day you announced the election. You ignored calls not to campaign. We saw photos of you campaigning in Trelawney and Mandeville and Eastern St. Andrew with crowds around your vehicle. And it wasn't until we saw the numbers spiking alarmingly that you finally suspended campaigning. Mr. Holness, do you deserve to be Prime Minister again, given that at such a critical time for the country, you chose to prioritize politics over public health?
We would never do anything to place the lives of the Jamaican people at risk. The pandemic will only end when there is a safe and widely distributed vaccine. This may be between 1.5 to 2 years, according to some experts. This would be well outside of the constitutional limits to call an election. Jamaica is still considered to be one of the countries that has managed the pandemic extremely well. And in fact, we have one of the lowest mortality rates worldwide per capita. Let me take this opportunity to offer my deepest condolences to the families of those who have lost someone to this terrible disease. We should note, however, that the definition of a pandemic is that there will be spikes. Indeed, even the countries that have sought to have strict lockdowns for a very long time, for example, New Zealand, they have had a spike. Jamaica is not the only country to have decided to go ahead with an election. And there's very good reason why governments do this. The truth is that what we have learned for the last 4 or 5 months in managing the pandemic is that we must go on with our society. We must go on with our economy. We must go on with going back to school. We must go on with going to the market. We must move ahead with our society.
Top no man, sure. You always run out the clock and over. But listen to people. You see, at this time, before the election, me there find on my page, on Facebook page. Before me on YouTube, because YouTube are lately. Me on Facebook long time, people. Tens of thousands of people up there. And me I do my video, I Kelly, and me I say, Jano, me a boast, and me a brag out Jamaica do good in the big sea, you know. Because we hear the big sea, I tear down what people and a dirt, what people in China, and then they got Paris and the dirt people, and then they got England and the dirt people. Could I hear it come, could I hear the news, you know. And me I tell people, say, boy, in Jamaica, me don't even hear nobody get it, I mean, I hear nobody get dirt behind the big sea. I was bragging and boasting to people over here and say, boy, I'm a tough time, I'm a honest, I hold it down good, I'm in love with them and do it. People, I don't lie. My videos, a minute take them long enough. Those videos are on Facebook. Anybody who know me, I was praising him and Tough Time to all them lock down the place after the first case. Remember the time there? And the man lock it down. People, this man say him not thinking about no election. The same week it seems people like the man get up the next man and say and call it people in the middle of the thing, people. And drag the whole of this Jamaican them in the crowd when we are trying to get out of that and this thing come to we and we tear down China. We dirt out for people, whole for people in Paris. He got England and kick out people teeth. He did America pile up in a trailer load and a reefer. People are done in dirt out. People. I mean, he said the man I can do that, you know. It seems as if at that time the poll was in favor of him. I don't know, and the man drag the people. So you hear him give him excuse, say the country have to go on and this and that. And after the election, the country go on and lock down. Remember that? Till ship out a sea there. Remember say the country have to go on and business as usual. But Jamaicans all there on cruise ship came home and they never accept them home. They have to go all over the world and come back around them suffer. But he himself, things have to go on. So after the election, it not no else of business. The people who work on cruise ship from Jamaica came to Jamaica on cruise ship. And the cruise company, can them come there to let them off? This man would not accept them. Make we go along, people. We have to tell you these things, man.
Thank you very much, Mr. Holness. Dr. Phillips, your rebuttal.
I think the most disturbing thing about the recent handling of the spike in cases is the disregard that has been given to the scientific advice of the medical personnel. In the period of the Emancipendence celebrations, the recommendation was made that there should be a tightening of the arrangements, the curfew arrangements and the other arrangements. That was ignored. The consequence has been devastating on the people of Jamaica. Yes, there will be a pandemic, but there's no need to ignore proper advice. There's no need to ignore common sense, and there is every need to protect the people of the country.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phillips. Dion Jackson Miller has a follow-up question for Mr. Andrew Holness.
Not talking about calling the election, Mr. Holness, don't you think that campaigning in the way you did facilitated the spread of the virus?
Absolutely not. Indeed, what I did as Prime Minister, I acquired over 500,000 masks, and I personally distributed over 80,000 masks. Wherever I went, I made sure to play a public service announcement, giving directions to persons how they should operate and how they should behave. Listen, Dion, the truth is, even points being made regarding disregarding the scientific advice. We are now in the phase of the pandemic where the society has to learn to live with the disease.
Thank you.
The government has put in place all the measures necessary to ensure that it is safe for the people of Jamaica to campaign and safe to vote and safe to go out and work and do business.
George Davis, your question to Dr. Peter Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, a few months ago, the nation prayed as you took time off to deal with cancer. As you continue your treatment and recovery, how should Jamaicans reconcile the status of your health when considering whether to vote PNP so you can be Prime Minister for the next 5 years?
Well, the first point I would make is that my treatment is over. I am cancer-free, and I thank God for that opportunity. At the present time, I think we have to recognize that what I am called upon to do is to operate with the best of my ability, to give of myself, as I have done at every stage in my public service career. I come here with clean hands. In an earlier phase, I had the opportunity as a very young man to coordinate the construction of 10,000 houses in Portmore. I had opportunities subsequently to establish the JUTC, to establish the route taxi system. I have subsequently had opportunity as a more mature person to rescue Jamaica's economy from the chaos in which it was left by the then JLP administration in the period 2007 to 2011. Now, I am prepared to give service again as long as the Almighty permits it and my health enables it. And as of now, my health is in perfect condition.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Your rebuttal, Mr. Holness.
Well, I'm happy to hear that the leader of the opposition is cancer-free. The truth is as well, you know, my hands are clean. I've worked hard. I've presided over the construction of 22,000 housing solutions and more. You know, I've had the opportunity to be Minister of Education, to really make profound and fundamental changes in education.
But you know, after this debate, people, it came out that the Integrity Commission said while he was the Education Minister, he said to go make changes in Education Ministry. After this debate, you remember the Integrity, last year Integrity Commission come out and say, while he was the Education Minister, I pay corruption there. I give job to him, my friend, and him Cumberland wife and Nigel Clark and all him friend, them and same thing. I tell you, yeah, man.
As Prime Minister, I'm also a minister, and I have presided over the construction of more roads in Jamaica than any other government in, you know, the recent history of Jamaica, including completing projects that started under his administration, which they didn't complete.
Thank you.
So I can't see why
Mr.
would want
Holness.
now to come and make a case.
Marjorie Gordon is on the social media beat, and she has another question.
Thanks, Dervin. On Twitter, they're asking, if you form the next government, what concrete steps will you take to protect the watershed areas, especially since drought conditions are exacerbated every year?
Mr. Holness.
Thank you for that question. We are the party that have taken the greatest steps to protect our environment, including our watershed. And the one that I want to point out is what we have done in protecting the biggest watershed in Jamaica, which is the Cockpit Country. We are the political party that took this matter by the scruff of the neck and made it possible. We got it done. For decades that dithered under previous administrations, we got it done. And we will continue working with our international partners. I personally have taken a lead role in climate change matters, and we have been receiving great support from our international partners through climate change funds and other funds to protect our watersheds and to create a government that is responsive and resilient as it relates to the environment and natural disasters.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. You also get an opportunity to respond to that social media question, Dr. Phillips.
I think Jamaica owes a debt of gratitude to former Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller for having established for the first time ever a ministry with responsibility for climate change. This is one of the big challenges of our present period, and we ought not to become confused. We must be definitive about not permitting mining in the cockpit country, for example. We need to act decisively to protect the other areas of watershed and to ensure climate resilience along our coastlines, our waterways, our rivers. This is the most important challenge of now, and we need to mobilize the entire country to deal with it.
Dion Jackson-Miller will now direct her next question to Dr. Peter Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, frankly, it's been wonderful seeing two brilliant women leading the government and opposition sides in the Senate. But drill down deeper, and you said there are only 2 of 8 opposition senators that are women. That's 25%. 4 of 13 government senators that are women. That's 30%. Politicians talk a good game on gender equality, but here, when it's completely within their control, they don't deliver. Win or lose, Dr. Phillips, would you commit to nominate a slate of at least 50% women to the Senate?
We have said that we believe that there needs to be at least 50% representation, both in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. But I think we also need to understand that there are many factors that impede women's participation. The support for child care, for example, in the House and Senate, and generally is one such factor. The fact that women carry a greater share of household work is also another factor. So actually getting the right level of representation is going to take more than just a commitment. We're going to have to deal with all of these other factors that really impede women's full participation. We are committed to dealing with those factors in the People's National Party.
Your rebuttal, Mr. Holness.
I think it's a simple thing that you can do, which is to ensure that in your recruitment, at least, you have more women. We have done that in the Jamaica Labour Party. We have been deliberate in going out and seeking to recruit women. And now we have more female candidates representing the party than ever before.
You have to give that to the Labourite. That's true. No. The last election, a lot of young female. That is not a lie. Gotta give that to them. Yeah, man. Me say that to me to be upon it. I mean, big up all the young female them at the Labourite. Have a chance, but the leader, I teach you some things me not think you don't want to learn. I me do videos enough people, and guess what me tell the youngster them say? You guys know the power of social media than them old politicians. Them don't know what go on. And who have more long shelf life, more political life. Some of them old boys soon phase out. So you better protect your character, young politician. But talk to them already, people. And I lie, I tell us so. About the female then.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. Dion Jackson-Miller has a follow-up question for Dr. Phillips.
Yes, Dr. Phillips. Respectfully just asking for a yes or no. We have an entire country of wonderful, capable, professional women. You would only need to find 4 if you're in opposition, or 6 or 7 if you're in government. Would you commit to a slate of at least 50% that you nominate entirely within your control, sir?
I thought I said so. It is a yes.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. George Davis, your question now for Mr. Andrew Holness.
Mr. Holness, given the different ways in which you've dealt with ministers embroiled in scandal, Royal Reed sacked, Dr. Wheatley resigned, Darrell Vaz at OPM, J.C. Hutchinson at OPM, could you tell Jamaica the things a minister has to be involved in to be summarily removed from cabinet?
The discretion to remove a minister from cabinet is entirely in the hands of the Prime Minister.
Okay.
And indeed, that would range from non-performance, dereliction of duties, lack of accountability, lack of responsiveness, and breaking with policy, breaking cabinet, the secrecy of cabinet.
Look here, we never know all them things, you know. We never know so much thing in my feet. Get rid of them. We never know so much tool Andrew always have to get rid of non-performer, Chang and all them man. We never know Tufton and Flavor. We never know. That's why I'm telling you, say. Me not blame them, you know. Put all the blame in the salmon lap. Me not blame no politician no more, man. Andrew always forget the blame, man. I don't know, man.
There are a host of things as it relates to impropriety, malfeasance, misfeasance, or corruption. Firstly, I have to be satisfied that there is enough, even without an independent authority investigating and pronouncing. I would have to satisfy myself that there is enough. Once I'm satisfied, I will act. Further action sometimes require that I await the pronouncement of independent bodies that are authorized to make definitive statements on corruption. But generally, the public would see and would know that I have acted proportionately and appropriately to address issues of impropriety, issues of lack of accountability, issues of corruption.
People,
thank you, Mr. Holden.
People, hold on there. Members of the Integrity Commission come out, you know, and pine finger upon them man if it's be prosecuted, you know. Enough of them, you know. What the man do? Hide them in their office. See them there? That are after him, you know, vote him in for the second time, you know. Hide half man in their office, you know. You hear man tell you say, this and that and this and that and hold. People, don't forget. Me not telling no lie on the man. No fine cabinet man them get involved in all type of stuff, people. Try to say land thief, land whole party, bang around people. When though, hide them off in the office, then they pop up downstream, either some other ministry. Like we forget say, then we just hide off in their office because of scandal. Make we continue to listen. Me not like on the man, people.
Mr. Phillips, your rebuttal.
For 8 months after the issue of Petrojam came up, the Prime Minister failed to act until Mr. Wheatley removed himself from the cabinet by resignation. There was no action taken against Royal Reid until we in the People's National Party raised the question. The following day, Reid was removed from the cabinet. Now there are a number of ministers who have been found wanting, and they seem to have become part of a holding cell at Jamaica House. It reflects a lack of commitment to the principles of anti-corruption, and it reflects a failure to be bold and decisive in showing leadership to the country.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Marjorie Gordon of Nationwide News Network has been combing through the throngs of messages on social media, and she has another question.
Yes, Dervin. Now, Rupert Francis, he wants to know, how do you plan to reduce Jamaica's demand on importation and focus more on local production?
Rupert Francis.
And that first goes to Dr. Phillips.
You know, one of the striking things about the present administration is that despite the previous administration having reduced $300 million off the country's food bill, it has risen again to in excess of 1.1 billion US dollars or thereabouts. We believe that an important part of the reduction of our import bill centers upon agricultural transformation. And we are committed to doing this by ensuring, first of all, that our farmers, especially our small farmers, get better advice from RADA, that they are given titles for the land, which enables them to become mainstream participants in the financial sector, and that they're also assisted with marketing, both in CARICOM and internationally. We think that there is tremendous scope for enhancing our export capability, beginning with agriculture, but including other areas such as our creative sectors, for example, and in the digital economy. Jamaica can do better. We will do better under PNP administration.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phillips. Mr. Holness, your opportunity to respond to the question.
Quickly, when I listened to Dr. Phillips speak, it's as if he just came to the stage. Dr. Phillips has been there for more than 2 decades. And so these problems have existed for a very long time, and they have done nothing. The truth is that the Jamaica Labour Party government, in its first year, created MICAF, the Ministry of Investment, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. Why? Because we recognize that agriculture requires investment and technology to transform it. What has happened since? We have managed to attract the interest of businessmen into agriculture that are making massive investments. Case in point, Innswood, where over 1,000 acres have been put into production in potatoes and other things, which will be effectively reducing our import bill. We will replicate this 100 times over, but not just for the big investor. These
Innswood. What am I doing Innswood right now? They never run after farmer for Innswood. One of the time people on social media say I build a house. People was in Innswood estate. We see on social media. Where them block the road for the farmer, they put some big boulder in the road, the farmer them come one morning. And like a dumper truck, put a big pile of something in the road where the farmer them couldn't access them land. Was it Innswood people? No, come here with me. Because we need people who can remember still. People, Innswood estate. Was it missing on social media? I'm not talking about farming, you know. What people is a farm there. And remember, we see it on social media where somebody blocked the farmer, the driveway, to go to Innswood estate. And was it Innswood people? Talk to me in the comment section. Because we have listened to people that say
projects also include the small farmers working in conjunction with big capital to deliver significant output. They talk, we get it done.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. Please stay where you are. The national leadership debate returns in just a moment.
Yeah, we get it done. Yeah, man. Where's man? Oh, hey, people want to say, what do you think about debate? Yeah, we have to listen, man. Remember, I said, Andrew only said that try to come back in a power after I will give him one whole term. So it's a 4.5 years. You see? And the man said, boy, he want to get back a chance and debate between him and Peter Phillips. I watched that debate. And as I hear them, they mention Rupert Francis. So, you know, it's a long time Dr. Rupert Francis I try to fight for certain things in Jamaica. Yeah, man, big up Doc.
Association with Proven Flows. Go.
Yeah, man. This is very important, people. We're going to listen. All right? The manners I respect each and every one of there, so I chill out and I listen to this debate. Very interesting.
Segment, Dion Jackson Miller of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group will direct her next question to Mr. Andrew Holness.
Mr. Holness, you asked senators to sign undated resignation letters. The court ruled that unconstitutional. Yeah. You pushed through NIDS despite concerns by civil society. The court ruled it unconstitutional. You initially ignored objections to your appointment of a temporary chief justice, causing nearly 100 judges to sign an unprecedented protest statement. Given these attitudes and actions, how can Jamaicans trust you to implement policy and law in accordance with our supreme law, the Constitution?
I think once the courts have ruled on a matter, there is no question about my respect and compliance for the rules of the court. I've been involved in several court cases, in fact, in groundbreaking cases, including the first case under the voiding of elections. The facts are that many of these issues were not clarified in law, and these cases have clarified them in law. And I respect our courts and follow their rules with great respect and consistency.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. Your rebuttal, Dr. Phillips.
The sad truth is that in all of this, particularly in the NIDS matter and in the matter of the appointment of the Chief Justice, it could have been avoided. We pleaded in the Parliament at every stage with the government and the Prime Minister to say simply, why don't you put this to a joint select committee so that it can be discussed in the way that Parliament was intended to discuss far-reaching and controversial legislation. It is reflective of a pattern of arrogance in the conduct of the government that they refuse at every point to just heed common sense and goodwill.
Thank you, Dr.
People, that is the first term, you know. So what Dr. Phillips has said, a lie I tell about pattern of arrogance and all these things, people. Jaja.
George Davis, your question for Dr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, on each occasion the Holness administration announced a state of emergency in a location, they stated explicitly they were doing so on the advice of the police and the military. Since you have said repeatedly, SOEs are not the answer, will you reject any recommendation to declare an SOE in any area if you form the next government?
We can never say that you will never have an SOE anywhere, but I think it needs to be made very plain that the security forces are subject to civilian direction, and therefore it is going to be the judgment of the administration as to whether constitutional rights are to be infringed upon and what circumstances would require this. It cannot be any other way.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Your rebuttal, Mr. Holness.
You know, the discussion regarding rights must always also focus on the rights of the many families that have lost loved ones to criminals. It must focus on the rights of people who are locked in their communities, cowering in fear because of criminals.
Screw your rights.
The state must act, and it must act decisively, protecting the rights of all.
How do we ever talk about this? I tell him, say, screw your rights. That's why I come with everybody else's rights, victims' rights. Everybody have rights, period, all of us. But that answer for sure you say, that's why him get caught up in a court to violate the constitutional rights of Jamaicans in that SOE, because he never want to listen to what Peter are telling. So that's why the government have got paid millions of dollars right now to Jamaicans' rights who were violated under SOEs, creep up a bunch of Jamaicans, lock them up without charges under the guise of SOE. Peter Phillips are telling me now. But basically, he must say, screw on rights. What about the rights of who died? What about the rights for him to bring that up is like screw the regular law-abiding citizen rights. So I'm just going on there. What about the rights of people who die? Screw your rights. But the government found, let me tell you earlier, guilty in our court. Them lose the government. They appeal it and they lost again. Do you hear that? None of them pay millions of dollars to Jamaicans. So we don't know if they start pay yet because they were told to pay the police them, the government, and then violate that role to pay up the police them, you know. A rogue government, you know, people. Rogue government, real rogue government, you don't listen to nobody. No listen to no agency advice, no listen to the court order, no listen to nothing. I don't lie, me I tell people.
Citizens. This government has done so. We have made massive investments in security, where our security architecture was disinvested for many years. And we have asked our police and military to do a job for which they were ill-equipped and ill-resourced. We have now found a very good strategic approach.
Thank
Providing.
you. Thank you, Mr. Hook.
Look at people. Remember, I said the court, minister tell us the court tell the government to pay up the police them their money. Before them pay up the police their money, Ron James will take them to court to pay up the police their money because they violate the court order. What you see them do again? Interdict the man again. What you see them do again? They lick the man again. They interdict Ron James again because the court said to get back him job. I want to get back him job and they must get them pay. And them now get pay. So Ron James will file a lawsuit against them. You know what the police tell me say? And several police tell me say Ron James a hero. Can sacrifice him job for them. Can didn't have to do what he's doing. He stand up for principle. Police tell me that. Police tell me that they respect Ron James. Police in Jamaica are for Ron James. I'm telling you. Them say he's a man of principle. And look at lately, me find out some Ron James got stats, you know. Work and integrity. That's our motto. And lately, me find out say Ron James went to Stats. You hear me? Alumni of Stats. So work and integrity. That's our motto. You better believe that anywhere you go with that motto in your head, work and integrity from Stats. If you go do nothing wrong out there, they're on your own. Because you learn well out at the school there. Work and integrity. So you know, so that man there went to Stats. So the police them tell me, say the man sacrifice his job for principle for them. Jaja.
George Davis has a follow-up question for Dr. Peter Phillips.
Yes, Dr. Phillips, based on what you said in your answer, the leadership of the JCF and JDF and the recommendations of SOEs to the government, and since SOEs are not your preferred prescription, will you then seek to replace those leaders upon taking office and have people more aligned with how you'd want certain recommendations made?
No, the question of replacing individuals is not that of any particular government. The Police Service Commission has the responsibility for the appointment of a police commissioner. The Defense Board has responsibilities in respect of a chief of defense staff. These positions are not to be politicized and acted upon whimsically. But I think we have to make it absolutely clear that they are subject to political direction, civilian direction.
Thank you. We now have another social media question. Marjorie Gordon of Nationwide News Network. Marjorie?
Joel on Instagram wants to know, Durvan, what two major digital reforms do you hope to accomplish if you become Prime Minister?
Mr. Holness, you get the first opportunity to respond to the question.
I'm glad that question was asked. The leader of the opposition mentioned the government's eagerness to get the NIDS bill passed. And I've seen where the opposition has used its role and function in Parliament to prevent important pieces of legislation from coming to fruition. The NIDS is the foundation of us building a digital society. They stopped it. Another critical part of the development of a digital society is to ensure that our young people are properly trained to articulate and participate in the work opportunities that will come from the fourth industrial revolution. We plan to develop and build 6 STEM schools, which will focus not just on science and engineering and mathematics, but on coding, which is now a new language. It has always been, but we have not embraced coding as a language. We will build a tech city in Portmore where there is tremendous skills. And we will, from that, move that tech city into parishes of St. James and into St. Mary and into St. Elizabeth. We will get the young people of this country in tune with the fourth industrial revolution so that we will not just be mere consumers of technology, but creators of technology.
Thank you.
People are 8 years now. When? God on here, man.
Thank you, Mr. Holness.
Hold on, people. Remember, say, election cycle again, and we hear them talk. Me and Nigel Clark, they talk about them building that STEM school. How much STEM school the man say, man, give me? How much time school is ever bill? Not one bill. 8 years in, not one bill. To get more vote now, in my promise, you know, so they might build them first time school. How much I promise, you know? Make we listen, 300% raise pluck out on a pocket.
And now, Dr. Phillips, your opportunity to respond.
Let me point out once again that the People's National Party did nothing to stop NIDS. It was the courts of Jamaica. The Prime Minister's approach to this matter reflects an arrogance and disregard of the role of the courts, which is quite frankly unbecoming of anyone. Now, let me say this. Simply put, there are many things that we should do. We should be digitizing all our school records. We should be digitizing all our hospital records in the country. We should be digitizing all our public records, our titles office, and all of these other things. That can be done, and it can be done quickly, and it is something we are committed to. It will enhance the efficiency of the overall administration of the country.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. And Dion Jackson Miller also has a question for you.
Dr. Phillips, Port Antonio, February 19, 2016, you were then finance minister and you called the JLP's 1.5 tax plan a, quote, desperate attempt of people who want power, end quote. Now, you're the one in opposition with a manifesto full of promises. Given that many people left the finance debate still confused about this, can you explain for us in very specific language how the PNP would fund its giveaways in a post-COVID economy?
I think it is very clear, and we make no apology for the fact that in the face of the COVID pandemic and the economic impact it is having, a devastating impact on the lives of so many families, so many people in the informal economy, it is absolutely important that the government of the country throws a lifeline to these people. And so we have no apology at all about, in fact, putting a people agenda at the center. It is also the case, as has been recognized by the entire parliament, that in the face of the economic fallout from the pandemic, we are going to have to loosen some of the fiscal rules. It is the loosening of the fiscal rules and the introduction of some degree of deficit financing that will enable a lot of this to be done, as well as the reprioritizing of some expenditure. When we give support to big business operations, everybody thinks it is reasonable. We think that the ordinary Jamaican people need to get support to survive COVID-19.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Your rebuttal, Mr. Holness.
You know, Durban, Master Tom called me before I came to debate, and he said he was reading Peter Papatax Phillips' manifesto. And in that manifesto, he was caught by the promise of $48,000 per year per household. And he said, let me check that. And that worked out to about 200 billion Jamaican dollars. Master Tom said to me, tell Papatax Phillips that me be poor, but me no fool.
A lie, you know. Story.
Thank you.
Storyteller.
Thank you, Mr.
A storyteller that. You think about that? It's every day build the Hollywood, you know. Me say him have the little story, they forget the little people in Jamaica, little dunce, low vibration people them. If no forget to them, you know. Me could go and listen, man. Low frequency.
Holness.
Not true.
George Davis of Sportsmax Scene TV has another question for Mr. Holness.
Mr. Holness, in your 2016 manifesto, you sketched a 10-point plan for effective crime management and security to, in your words, make Jamaica a safer, more peaceful, and more prosperous society. Despite listing 47 points of achievements in this manifesto, there is nothing, no mention of anything that has been achieved to make citizens feel safer. Is this tacit acknowledgement of your party's failure in this regard?
No. Of course not. Thank you for the opportunity to bring up all our successes.
Crazy.
You know, there's been no other government that has repaired and built new police stations like this government. There's no other government that has provided mobility, and more than that, equipped our fleet with tracking. There has been no other government that has equipped the JDF with the capabilities to manage our domain, not just our land domain, but our exclusive economic zone at sea, which is very important for creating the blue economy.
Then why so much Asian and Cuban are coming our shore in a raft? We have all this and that. People will live to see Asian people. I wake up a morning time at Portland and see strange people I walk around in them yard back. I run from police and see one whole boat with a piece of cloth on it as sail. Not even engine, you know. So what is speedboat them are come? All them are find if I can even find a slow moving boat with dozens of people coming to our shore. Tell me what are doing them speedboat are coming with how much engine the pan can drop off the irons or drop off the powder. Whoa, we have a very safe border. What about the plane we land on the beach with no seats in it? It seems that plane there was carrying something, you know, a cargo plane cannot seat no in it like a cargo van. You have cargo planes, so no seat no in it that does pilot seat alone. A cargo plane coming, you know, drop on beach and nobody no see no pilot, nothing, you know. Another plane, remember so bad are safe enough people. I saw him I say, give me another 4 years, which you no gave him. And I see, since you no gave him the 4 years, plane land Palm Beach. Plane just land on a Elam the other day, them light it a fire. What coming at it? We don't know what coming at the plane. Police take about 3 hours to get to it. Police took about 3 hours to get to this plane at Elam where land the other day. No pilot is found, nobody know what coming at it. Look here, continue to listen to this.
There has never been a government that has increased the manpower, the size and capability of both security forces to be able to increase presence in your community. You just need to ask the people of Mount Salem, the people of Greenwich Farm, the people in Augustown, how that expenditure of security and increased presence, which the opposition...
Hold on. The people of this community, are you guys... Let me rewind this a little bit. Come on and go too far. Yes. Hold on there. People of Greenwich Farm and all these places. You don't see good... What going with security over there? You know good? Good to see you, man.
There is nothing, no mention of anything that has been achieved to make citizens feel safer. Is this tacit acknowledgement of your party's failure in this regard?
Listen. Of course not. Thank you for the opportunity to bring up all our successes. You know, there's been no other government that has repaired and built new police stations like this government. There's no other government that has provided mobility, and more than that, equipped our fleet with tracking. There has been no other government that has equipped the JDF with the capabilities to manage our domain, not just our land domain, but our exclusive economic zone at sea, which is very important for creating the blue economy. There has never been a government that has increased the manpower, the size and capability of both security forces to be able to increase presence in your community. You just need to ask the people of Mount Salem, the people of Greenwich Farm, the people in Augustown, how that expenditure of security and increased presence, which the opposition every time in Parliament calls for, we have done it and we have delivered. We know that crime is not a flip of the switch, but we have made the investments necessary to see to the long-term and sustainable reduction in crime and make Jamaica a peaceful society.
Thank you very much, Mr. Holness. Your rebuttal, Dr. Phillips?
I think we need to recognize quite fundamentally that the murder rate is higher over the 4.5 years of the current JLP administration than it has been in the previous 4.5 years of the People's National Party administration. The strategy that they have been pursuing has not worked. And beyond that, they failed to try to grapple with the need to build a national consensus around this matter. We begin with mobilizing the people to accomplish great things, and crime control is one.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Marjorie Gordon has been sifting through the teeming and rising numbers of responses on social media. What question do you have for us right now, Marjorie Gordon?
Well, Damarni on Facebook, he wants to know, what are your plans to reduce brain drain or retain skilled and qualified Jamaicans in the country?
Dr. Phillips, you get the first opportunity to respond.
I think, the critical issue is where we started, control crime. One of the things that makes our young people and others want to leave is this overwhelming sense of insecurity that they have. The other issue is to be able to provide access to the basic necessities of life, like housing, like better jobs, higher paying jobs, which is why we are fundamentally committed to building a new economic structure that moves beyond the traditional structures. Agricultural transformation is one area that we have pointed to. The rise of the creative economy, music, fashion, design, drama, leisure industries are another important element in this. Digitizing our country and reducing the digital division that will enable a much more productive economy overall is yet a third area in which we want to be very active in this regard. All told, we will prevent the brain drain when people have an opportunity to fulfill their hopes, dreams, and aspirations right here in the country of their birth.
It's now your opportunity to respond to the same question. Mr.
Well,
Boone.
let's talk about how we get that done. In our manifesto, we have made a solemn and firm commitment that we will reserve 10,000 houses for young people under the age of 35 at 0% interest rates.
It happened?
And full mortgage to achieve.
It happened?
This is a very serious commitment to the youth of Jamaica.
It happened?
Housing is a very important investment that people should make at the start of their lives. I also want to say that our young people are looking for jobs of...
Hold on, Mr. Wallace. You can't just go act like we didn't just hear that in a Kevin Hart voice. No, you can't act like you didn't just say that. I mean, like, seriously. People, whatever you want man say, I understand young people. What am I do for young people again? No, yeah, man, hold on, man. Be with me, people. No, sir.
Has been sifting through the teeming and rising numbers of responses on social media.
Here again.
What question do you have for us right now, Marjorie Gordon?
Well, Damarni on Facebook, he wants to know, what are your plans to reduce brain drain or retain skilled and qualified Jamaicans in the country?
Dr. Phillips, you get the first opportunity to respond.
I think, the critical issue is where we started, control crime. One of the things that makes our young people and others want to leave is this overwhelming sense of insecurity that they have. The other issue is to be able to provide access to the basic necessities of life.
Me not line up people. Me they like Peter Phillips, Come and find him to be a cleaner, man, and enough of them, I know them, see them and choking up a corruption for this man, Me not lie, me there hope for Peter Phillips to get a chance. Because Peter Phillips was planning to send enough of them got jail, Yeah, man, enough of them got jail. Me say that's why they get rid of him, all of them, PNP and Labour Right, Because PNP they got prison too, So me say PNP and Labour Right end up get rid of him. Make go on this, yeah, man. That better rile me up, yeah, man. Make hear the man. You understand me? I say when them speak in a build up nothing and telling lies and a nonsense story like Andrew Honest, we give all these kids 0% and houses and rent. 0% mortgages for young people and all type of sweets and stuff you want to hear. That's Andrew Honest push. And the people bought it and give
housing, like better jobs, higher paying jobs, which is why we are fundamentally committed to building a new economic structure that moves beyond the traditional structures. Agricultural transformation is one area that we have pointed to. The rise of the creative economy, music, fashion, design, drama, leisure industries are another important element in this. Digitizing our country and reducing the digital division that will enable a much more productive economy overall is yet a third area in which we want to be very active in this regard. All told, we will prevent the brain drain when people have an opportunity to fulfill their hopes, dreams, and aspirations right here in the country of their birth.
Now your opportunity to respond to the same question.
Well, let's talk about how we get that done. In our manifesto, we have made a solemn and firm commitment that we will reserve 10,000 houses for young people under the age of 35 at 0% interest rates and full mortgage to achieve. This is a very serious commitment to the youth.
Yes, that's a serious lie. You can't buy a house. Jamaicans can't buy houses right now. Police can't buy a house. You know what about no youth under 30? Teachers can't buy a house. Nurse can't buy a house. How you got to afford a house right now? I have a friend left from Upper South Jamaica to buy a house the other day. She couldn't afford it. She said, Carlos, that not worth my money. Every time I come back up, I say, come invest my money. They look up tin pan, they want to have to look up rat trap. Look here, man.
Jamaica. Housing is a very important investment that people should make at the start of their lives. I also want to say that our young people are looking for jobs of the future. We're qualifying many Jamaicans for the traditional jobs, but we must also seek to provide the new jobs in artificial intelligence, in animation, in knowledge services. And we will do that with the creation of our tech park. We have seen signs of growth in the BPO industry.
Where's the
BPO
park?
industry is still operating at pretty much a primary level. But we intend to partner with all the stakeholders to increase the value of the services that they're doing so that there are diversified opportunities there for our young people, not to have to run overseas, but to come here, stay here and work.
Thank you.
People, I'm not giving 4 more years, people. Tell me, say, now if I the first time when I see Jamaica, I run cross, no way got nobody place. If say I do this and that for young people, you know, take part, what was thinking with him say a while ago. After I come back in the office, you know, give me a second term, he say how much houses for young people, 0%, full mortgage. People, the man said, he might give all young people houses under 30. Wait there. Cater for young people. Tell me people, after not giving the 4 more years, now that time when I see people start run cross through jungle and go cross border, and they are like we are some other people from some other place who never say Jamaica running from Jamaica so yet. Who never say Jamaica turn refugee like that in another place yet. Yeah, so no. We always see refugee on TV and sit like that. I would say, oh God, never see one Jamaican until you give them another second term.
Mr. Holness, it's time to take another break in this national leadership debate. Please stay with us.
People, after we give the brother the second term, the brother like unleash prize upon the people, then brother. The same prize what you might talk about, the prize of the people for the second debate after this man. The man win, give him third term, what am I gonna do? The second term we are running from Jamaica across the border. What happened at the third term? Pirated. We have a swim crosses and go on island like Asian them.
Staying with us, you've been watching the final in a series of 3 political debates being facilitated by the Jamaica Debates Commission, which is a partnership of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce and Media Association Jamaica. And for those just tuning in, we still have some time to go. Thank you for joining us. Dion Jackson Miller will start us off in this segment with a question to the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Mr. Andrew Holness.
Mr. Holness, at one time or another, you've had experienced businessmen and politicians like Carl Samuda, Mike Henry, Darrell Vaz, Matthew Samuda, Pernell Charles Jr. serving as ministers without portfolio in your ministries. You oversee economic growth and job creation, land, housing, water, works, environment, until recently education in what could arguably be called the Ministry of Everything. Why should Jamaicans trust your team when you clearly don't?
I think Jamaicans would be very satisfied with the results that we have gotten with the consolidation of several ministries. I find some of these questions to be inconsistent because oftentimes reports will be pulled where it is recommended that we should only have, for example, 10 ministries. How would you get that without consolidating? We have moved very closely towards ensuring that the silo-type bureaucracy that exists in our country is eliminated. What we have managed to achieve in structuring the government this way is to give all the key agencies that can drive economic growth, job creation, and development, and place them under one policy guidance. It has worked. This is why we were able to complete so many roads all at once when the previous administration could not complete them. We completed and we started new projects. That is why we were able to bring cruise ships into Port Royal when previous administrations for decades tried. This is why we were able to complete very quickly and make a decision on the cockpit country when many administrations before tried. The real proof of what we have done is in the results. The results are unassailable.
Thank you very much.
Wait there. People put all these agents in them office. So much of them in them office. NHT right now. I hope a kinky thing are going with NHT and him and Tufton and this Chinese developer. Tufton never got through the right procedure to procure the money. The procurement agency, right? Government have them there as boundaries and border. Tufton go around them and go right to Parliament and have them sign off and stuff. Go around the government agencies. So the government agencies to hold the corruption out of things and make sure taxpayers' money now get robbed up. Now hold under this government and them man broke every rule. Me says a rogue government. I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling no lie. This is the definition of a rogue government. When you listen to the agents that your government have to keep everything straight and make sure you stay upon line. They run over the Integrity Commission, they run over Auditor General, they might run over the PPC.
Holness, Dr. Peter Phillips, your rebuttal.
I think it is important for us to emphasize that team is the critical part of how we approach things. A team which not only has a mixture of ages and accomplishment, youth and maturity, but also with a proper gender mix. And as I said earlier, we need to ensure that we make it easier for women to participate in the political process. But it is also important that we recognize that Mr. Holness says that he has delivered. But the 5 in 4 has not come about. Crime has increased. And in fact, the digital divide has weakened.
Dr. Phillips.
They have not accomplished this.
George Davis will now pose a question to you again, this time Dr. Peter Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, in its 2011 manifesto, the PNP said, quote, "The police force is the most important agency in the country's campaign against crime." In that document, the party proposed a comprehensive modernization of the force through a statutory body, the Police Management Authority. That body was not created in the PNP's last term in office. Nothing was said about modernizing the police force in the 2016 manifesto and nothing in this manifesto. Is it, sir, that the police force is fine as is?
No, I think it is made clear in what we have signed up to in the recent consensus document and what we have committed to in our present manifesto, that we need to complete police.
Sweet talk, people. What I learned is that politicians, nobody can talk like politicians. All of them. Kill with talk. It's like they practice that. They all fail the police, fail the people, hospital fail under both government. They fail the nurse, they fail the teacher. It come from long time people, both of them people. And I like, they never remember police.
Reforms. In fact, a national review of the force was undertaken, and it needs to be done. We need to strengthen the investigative capacities of the force. We need to strengthen the numbers in the force. We need to enhance its mobility, and at the same time, we need to ensure that all the other supportive elements that will make the force more effective need to be put in place, including social intervention programs.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phillips. Your rebuttal, Mr. Holness?
You know, there's a time and place for studies. I have put forward many commissions to understand problems and get solutions.
Okay.
But there's also a time for implementation. And what can be said about this government, which has always been said, oh, we need to bring in vehicles and we need to track them. This government has done that. Oh, we need to improve the policy as to how policemen are promoted. This government has done that. Oh, we need to bring in intelligence. We must have intelligence-driven crime fighting. This government has made the investment to do it. This government is reforming the police force before your very eyes. The leader of the opposition talks a good talk, but it is as if they have just discovered what the problems and solutions are.
Mr. Holness. Well, it's now time for the debaters to ask each other a question within 30 seconds, to which they're each obliged to give an answer within 90 seconds. The answer given in this case can be rebutted, but in no longer than 45 seconds. And so, your question to Mr. Holness, Dr. Phillips.
Mr. Holness has said that he has produced 20,000 houses, but the PIOJ's numbers say that in 2019, there were 8,000 housing starts, and the number of housing completions was less than 2,000. How do you explain the discrepancy between the PIOJ's numbers and your own?
First of all, the NHT has provided us with very accurate data. And I speak on the NHT's data. And the NHT's data tells
people the NHT is in this man's office. Him control the NHT. A joke thing, listen. Him control the NHT. What me say? Him control the NHT. That's why him give this developer money to build 200 houses. I never see one house, never see one model home. Give over $600 million out of NHT money. I never see one model home, never see a sample. End up in a court on some secret deal. And them gag. One secret thing I go on. Secrecy clause was written. And signed by both of them. Taxpayers' money, you know. So that we must not know about the deal that Andrew Holness make with the NHT money were in him office. And this dealer. People are starting around the country, you know. This developer. Yes, on the line, I tell them, man. I'm not going to do video like that. I'm not read that phone yesterday, man. I still use that, man. Listen.
That we have had over all 4.5 years, close to 20,000 housing starts. You ask about housing starts? Yes, the houses will be completed, and they are being completed at a rapid rate. People are already buying them. As it relates to the 22,000 housing solutions that we provided in our 4.5 years, that would include what has been provided by the HAJ, the Housing Agency of Jamaica, an incredible agency which is doing very well in providing housing solution for average income persons and low income persons. So we have done very well in the provision of housing solutions, far better than the previous administration.
Lie!
Thank you.
Housing.
Go ahead.
Housing
people. I don't like me, I tell them.
Solutions are less than 8,000 over the period of the administration. The numbers that you are citing do not compute. It would seem again it is another PR gesture which doesn't face up to the fact that the number of solutions have not been provided for people to be able to live in these houses.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Now, Mr. Holness, your opportunity to ask Dr. Phillips a question.
Dr. Phillips, you have claimed to be a great advocate for fiscal discipline. You have pointed to the sacrifice that the Jamaican people have made to pass IMF tests and achieve fiscal stability. How could you approve, how could you create, how could you disseminate a manifesto that, were it to be implemented, it would unravel and destroy the very thing that you claimed you sacrificed for, this fiscal responsibility and fiscal discipline? Is it that you are so power hungry, so desperate, that you could not resist trying to trick the people of Jamaica?
I think you've got your facts all wrong. The fact of the matter is that the program of the People's Agenda will involve about 1/3 of the discretionary expenditure that is available to any government. It means that we will be spending in the order of about $50 billion. That will be the priority focus in this area. We make no apology for providing relief for the population that is being negatively affected by COVID-19. It will not destroy the fiscal foundations of the country, and it is absolutely incorrect for you to suggest that premise.
Mr. Holness.
Dr. Phillips, in Parliament, when the Minister of Finance came to announce that because of the maintenance of good fiscal discipline, we were able to put forward a CARE program, very thing you are talking about, and have implemented 440,000 Jamaicans got a CARE grant. You objected to that because you took the view that it would result in a compromise of the fiscal rules. How could you come here now and put forward a manifesto in 2020 that would destroy what we have worked for the last decade? It is unreasonable, and I am personally hurt because you have destroyed your credibility.
Thank you.
There is absolutely nothing that occurred in the Parliament where the PNP or myself repudiated that.
Dr. Phillips, that's it.
Okay.
It's time for us to have the closing statements, and based on the earlier coin toss, Dr. Peter Phillips of the People's National Party will go first.
52 years, 58 years after independence, Jamaica can do better. In fact, if you look at what has occurred over the past 4.5 years, we have not been equal to the task of meeting the challenges of the 21st century. Our crime numbers, our murder numbers in particular, are up. We have failed to achieve 5 in 4. Economic growth stagnates. We have a deepened digital divide. We believe that the opportunity exists now for us to be able to make a marked improvement in the access to services that are available to the Jamaican people, to provide better housing, to provide for a new economy, to provide for a safe and secure environment for all our people to live in. In order to do this, we need to mobilize all the resources and energies of our people. That is the approach of the People's National Party. And so, building this future, building this new Jamaica of your dreams and hopes and aspirations is within our grasp. And therefore, I urge you all, on September 3rd, vote for the People's National Party. Put your X beside the head.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Mr. Holness, your closing statement.
Thank you, Dervan. This election is about giving the people of Jamaica the assurance that we will come through this pandemic safe with our lives and livelihood intact. This election is about leadership. This election is about strength and stamina. This election is about who is best able to unify the country. This election is about a vision for a better and more prosperous future. This election comes down to who has gotten things done and who will be able to get things done. The people of Jamaica, for the first time in a long time, has a government that can campaign on achievements. You have a government that can campaign on performance and a government that offers a very credible manifesto. On election day, September 3rd, I urge you to consider your options carefully. Careful consideration will reveal that the credible and right choice is the Jamaica Labour Party. I thank you and I look forward to your support. God bless Jamaica.
Thank you, Mr. Holness. And that...
People, some of the Labour writers will vote for Andrew Holness. Did you guys regret not voting for Peter Phillips? Talk truth. Did you guys regretted giving Andrew Holness 4 more years? Talk the truth, man. Labour right there, man. Did you guys regretted not giving Peter Phillips a chance? Did you guys thought that Phillips was corrupt? Did you thought at any time that Dr. Peter Phillips is a corrupt, crooked man? You think that Andrew Holness deserve a second term when Peter Phillips has said these things about him? They ask the writer, so is there anybody right here who's honest and willing enough to say, Jah no, them can't fool me again. Yes, Carlos, me go against Peter Phillips. Tell me the truth, or you make the right choice, whatever way. Tell me so. I know me not like Andrew Holness ways because him crooked and barefaced and wicked to poor people. A dog is better than him with no leg. A puss with no leg is better than him. People, me not gonna tell you no lie. Me not gonna go around the corner. Me for Jamaica, me for Jamaica. I'm gonna stand on the side of wickedness. Wickedness rules when righteous people shut their mouth and do nothing about it. That's how wickedness reign. That's how all them leaders reign the first time. Because people cower and say nothing and just rubber them. Oh, must hide. Side on the side of cruelty, thievery, robbing from the poor, plundering the country, while the people living in poverty. See, the US have to throw a travel advisory upon their day because with garbage hospital. Even them find that out and add that to them travel advisory. And we have a hissy fit who know say true. The other people know say the hospital look good and Mr. Tufton and Kamina. And them know say feels the hospital is okay for us. But anyway, people, thank you guys for watching this, you know. Because you know the two of them, you know. Let me tell you what I really like to see in Jamaica. And what will make Jamaica better. Let me tell you what will save us. If we have both sides going there and investigate each other. When one come out there, you go looking at the books, at any corruption, you prosecute, you make arrest, you confiscate. If you love the people them that bad, any side, you go in there, you see corruption, see Andrew Holness going there, you see corruption pan book what PNP do, you investigate, you prosecute. That's how you show your love to the people. PNP come in there, you see the books, you know of corruption, you investigate, lock up and confiscate. What we say, people? But don't know this crime against the people and call it just scandal. We don't want to hear that no more. We want politicians to take up for the people. We want politicians to stand up for the people. We don't want to hear about no bunch of scandal. It's not scandal, people. It's corruption. It's crime. In the trillions where both sides commit against us. Nobody go to jail.
Jamaica is the most corrupt administration that has ever held office in the history of our country since independence.
What is this man talking about? Well, make me make the statement, backed up by facts, that the PNP is the most corrupt political organization in the Caribbean. If you go back to 1989, which is a long time ago, you would hear about the Rollins land deal scandal.
Police use car scandal.
If you go back to 1990, you remember the zinc scandal after Hurricane Gilbert.
FLA scandal.
You have the furniture scandal. Then you have the Shell waiver scandal.
$8 million phone bill scandal.
Then you have a big scandal in 1992 over the illegal importation of motor vehicles. Then in 1993, we hear some man buy US dollar out of the back of them car all over. Big scandal.
$9 million travel scandal.
People, $9 million travel scandal. People in scandal, I mean criminality. Crime committed against poor people of Jamaica. Then wrap it up and I call it scandal. It's crime. Criminality. Both sides know that each other committed crime against the people. Both are derelict in their duty. Nobody lock up their friends on go me on the suffer and look away hospital.
The government have more scandal in it than Riverton City have scandal back.
You hear about the corrupt distribution of land in Holland. You hear about the Operation Pride scandal. Then in 1997, you have the FinSac scandal.
And then we have the super scandal, the Petrogen scandal. That one have everything in it.
And then now you have the mother of all scandal, the traffic guru scandal. You remember that?
Friends of the government collecting money for travel, but not traveling.
Trillions.
The Montego Bay street people scandal.
Trillions of dollars.
The fat cat salary scandal.
Crime.
You remember NetServe? Yes.
Friends of the government getting jobs at 3 times the pay.
Crime.
That the previous occupants of the job had.
Corruption.
While at the same time, long-serving, loyal, patriotic civil servants being fired from jobs.
Then you have the Sandals White House scandal. Then now after that, you come up with the Cuban light bulb scandal. You remember that? You have the Hanover Parish Council scandal.
Friends of the government and activists for the JLP.
Trillions.
Getting jobs in organizations for which they don't have qualification.
No jail time.
Then you have the Chick V scandal.
Who got jail?
Then you have the dead baby scandal.
Who got prison?
Then you have the bad gas scandal. Then you have now the Parish Council in a Manchester scandal.
Friends being awarded contracts by breaking the procurement rules, and some of those friends are the same people that turned up in the bushing scandal.
You remember Outer Many scandal? You remember EWI energy scandal?
Never in our history have we heard of a government entering into verbal contracts. No paper, no sign.
No paper.
Just word of mouth.
People may talk about trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Yeah, it's about saying crime and corruption, you know. Then wrap it up in a nice piece of paper, pretty paper, call it scandal. Trillions. Nobody go to jail.
$23 million. What madness is this going on in our country, Africa?
You can't cuss me when you corrupt.
Thank God for the opposition in Parliament. Thank God for the PAAC and the PNP members and the PAAC.
We already know that in bad mind, him that likes the people prosper. And now we know that him is nothing but a hypocrite. There will always be in every government, regardless of jurisdiction, people who breach the rule, people who use their power unjustly, unfairly, and unduly. The mark of the good government is that when it is done, there is no cover-up. When we face our challenges, there is no one who could criticize this government to say that we were covering up corruption. No, the Jamaica Labour Party stands firmly against corruption, and we will put in place and have been putting in place the measures to address it.
Guys, tell me you like this video today. Tell me you like it, guys. If you think it's a good video, give me some thumbs up or share it if you believe somebody will hear it. As usual, guys, I am a student in your guys' class. Make sure your comments make sense in every sentence. If this is the first time on this platform, people, and you like the work, and go on in the comment section, subscribe on YouTube and follow on Facebook, people. And if you don't like what we do, please don't come over here, I'm afraid of you. I'm not in trouble, just hit that button, I'm not a bag of doo-doo. Find another page with the rage. All right, guys, I love you. This is a joke, people. That's true. The man must show us bumper each other. Crime bomb, corruption bomb. No, you thief. No, you thief. Crime, corruption, corruption, corruption. People, nobody goes to jail. Nobody go to jail. But you know, you're going to leave, you know. That's softly that, man. Yeah. You have to give it something nice and true.
I like it when it rains. Like it when it rains.
Like when it rains, people. I'm a rain guy.
Oh yes, oh yes. Girl, I like it when it rains.
Yeah, man.
I like it when it thunders. I like it when it rains. Yeah, man. It makes me feel much younger. Girl, it's raining in my bed.
Yeah.
Nah.
You love the vibes,
it's raining in my bed. Yeah.
Guys, so now listen to the video.
Girl, it's raining in my bed.
I'm going to spirit the music.
Nah.
And sometimes that video is depressing.
Girl, it's raining in my bed. Ooh. I need my sheet game weight, it doesn't matter. My mattress weight, it doesn't matter. Girl, as long as I'm with you, you and only you will do. If my pillow get weight, it doesn't matter. My blanket weight, it doesn't matter. Girl, I'm so in love with you. So whenever we make, girl, I like it when it rains.
Pull it up. Wonderful evening, people. Thank you guys for being here. Watching this video. Love, respect to each and one. All the new people that
like it when it rains. Like it when it rains. Yeah.
All the old people that stay so.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, man.
Girl, I like it when it rains. Yeah. I like it when it thunders. I like it when it rains. Yeah. It makes me feel much younger. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Nah. It's raining in my bed. Yeah, it's raining. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Nah. Girl, it's raining in my bed. sheet get wet, it doesn't matter. My mattress weight, it doesn't matter. Girl, as long as I'm with you, you and only you will do. If my pillow gets wet, it doesn't matter. My blanket wet, it doesn't matter. Girl, I'm so in love with you. So whenever we make, girl, I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. I like it when it thunders. I like it when it rains. Yeah, yeah. It makes me feel much younger. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Na 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 na. It's raining in my bed. Yeah. Girl, it's raining in my bed. Na 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 na. It's raining in my bed. Yeah. Ooh. Girl, the rain is falling and I need you now. And my body's calling and I need you now. Please don't let this moment pass. I don't know how long this rain gonna last. Baby, hold me, squeeze me, touch me, tease me. You know I love you just to please me. Girl, I love you. Girl, I like it when it rains. Big up yourself, yeah, yeah.
Mothers, I respect each and every one. Well, watch this video. And I want you more to tell them, say, we're too old for the nonsense. We're too old for it, you know. Can't fool with.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, in no at you. Covid money, me say we eat the yearly correct you. Use the youth, the money, we stand for stamp and statue. Say we like a catch you, but we got enough, we got you. Take this kid of money, girl, and like say that is not you. One day, the man above end up in my gutter. We pull up it in the kitchen, some of five like a part two. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
That song make me feel away. Can't help it. Get me out of myself. Yeah.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, in no at you. Covid money, me say we eat the yearly correct you. Use the youth, the money, we stand for stamp and statue. Say we like a catch you, but we got enough, we got you. Take this print of money, girl, and like say that is not you. One day, the man above end up in my gutter. We pull up it in the kitchen, some of five like a part two. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption please.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 promises them and them not deliver. Cut up the youth them rough and they down in a whatever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police down a market like Satan out of hell go mash up people start and thief when them sell.
It burn me.
On the TV market man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
On them treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
On them them a treat this old man? How them a treat policeman? How them a treat soldier man? How them a treat everyone? Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skeleton, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and I'm resort to crime. You can't fool me again. I may say put that way we do, you make you do with that. All of the money you no take, you better give it back. All of the land you no take, you know we want it back. All of the beach you no tip, you better give it back. And you know sign that could conduct, we don't want you back. You know they clear you asset and we don't want you back. You come fi fill in your pocket and we don't want you back. Have your hand deep in a corruption, we don't want you back.
And the donkey I feel pain. And the donkey, you donkey. You donkey. Hear the donkey hurt. People, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you guys so much for watching Jamaican Carlos on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys so much, everyone, everybody who there saw. Marie, New Ali, Marville, Elliot, Mackay, David Jervis, Seymour, Darrett Elliott, everybody were there. I say everybody, man. You know, Rail Swite, what do them? Patricia Matthews, big up everybody were there, man. Big up everybody were there. Just love and respect. Seymour, bless myself. We don't miss nobody. Keeps it real, Sims. Wagwan. Bless myself, man. Marinda Radek, wagwan there. Enough love, you know. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this video was, you know, educational. Because, and I will come up with more videos like this, people, for opening the eyes and bringing it back to memory. All right, guys? However, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you think somebody will hear this, share this. Wayne Global, wagwan in the building. Manners and respect, guys. Don't forget to check out Wayne Global TV. He's going to be on about 6 o'clock today. A bonfire over there. A PA fireman burn over there. Them man a bonfire like when ganja man a light bush of fire. The whole mountainside burn down. Sometimes a fire gets way up a ganja man a bush a burn ganja. People are so red blazing fire. You must see ganja man a burn bush it. Yeah. A different type of fire blaze. Wayne blaze over there. Everything burn down, man. You have a call. Bless upon yourself, my brother. Wayne, may you have a debate, may you have got reason, because we need to have it on the show yeah, to deal with some stuff, but we need to deal with it from long time. However, we're going to watch it later and see what kind of fire burn over there, because we know about the fire, we know about the whole of the inside tear off. But love the people, don't forget to check out producer Wayne Global TV. Go over there, go subscribe and watch it, man. Yeah, love you, respect, Jamaican Carlos. My name is Jamaican Carlos. And I'm out. I love you guys so much, man. I wish we could have stayed with them, but you know, say, talking make you hungry, you know.
You always have to be the same.
Ask any blogger. When you come off of TV, you know hungry. Ask any blogger, talking make you hungry. Yeah, man, no matter you put in your belly before you're hungry, so therefore you have to find something to eat and drink. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to feed my spirit. Respect. I love you. I'm out.